What is going on, everybody? This should be me starting the show talking about what up, jokes and folks, and I'm from New York, and hey, I'm Corey from Austin, but you know what? We're not doing that right now. I am just Corey right here. Oz could not be here today because he has to go do a bunch of college stuff, or he had to do a bunch of college stuff with his son. I guess his son is getting ready to go to college, so he's out there helping him out, get registered and all that good stuff. And if you're a parent, you know what that's like. It keeps you very busy. So he says, Corey, I don't have time to deal with your stupid ass today. So you're on your own, and here we are. So that means this is good. This is a good thing. Corey Coleman here, everybody. This is a good thing that you have me today because we're doing a Q&A show, which we haven't done in a while. But that means that I get to catch up on all the questions that I did not answer last time, and there were quite a few of them. And I'm long overdue to answer those questions, and I knew there would be a time coming up to do that. That time is now. I hope everybody's doing well. Let me see here. Let me see. Saw somebody in the chat saying time flies. They've been watching for a decade now. Time does fly, man. Damn, it's been a decade? Man, don't tell me stuff like that. Every time you tell me that, a little bit of life just leaves my body. You keep saying that. I'm going to be 80 by next week, which is not such a bad thing. My mom is 90, so I think I'm going to be all right. I got some good genes up in me. Anyway, let's go ahead and see who we have coming in right now, because we do have, well, not only do we have the Twitchers, not only do we have the Tubers, which is who I mainly do this for that person who said, you don't care nothing about the YouTubers. I do. I just can't do it all the time because of copyright stuff. But I do love you. But also bringing in the TikTokers at this point. Now, the TikTokers can't show up on the chat for some reason. I don't know why. But hey, welcome. So everybody's here right now. Oh, and of course, oh my God, how can I forget the Kickers out there? Kickers, how you doing? Love you too, unless you're racist. Let me see here. Speaking of the chat, it seems like people are showing up right now. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. See, I'm not here alone. I have the chat fam starting the OG chat and the side bitches out there. How is everybody doing at this moment? Oh, somebody said no hi to the Kickers. No, very much hello to the Kickers out there. I love everyone. Let me see. We got Twilson. We have Elias the One. All right, that's the only Elias you need. Loud Fan says, I'm doing great, Corey. I'm happy to hear that, Loud Fan. If you doing great, I'm doing better. So we have Luigi, Rick Worm. My dog had a case of those. I got us some medication. Hodge Glorious and Uber Bash. Also Cocus and Austin CK. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well this evening. I'm sure it's evening for somebody right now. Might be barely afternoon. So many time zones out there. But over here in Austin at this moment, it's a little past 5 o'clock. A lot of people on their way home say, you know what? You can listen to me in your car. Make your ride home a little bit easier, a little faster, or a little bit more annoying, depending on how you view me. But glad to have everybody here. Let me see here. Let me see. We got just letting some more people come in. And as I said, if you're just getting here, Oz could not be here. So his son is about to get into college, and he's carrying his son around trying to get him ready for college stuff. Also, his pops, as he says, Papa Green is in town. He's doing stuff with him. So here I am, love to carry things on my own, but we'll do the best that we can. So we're going to do a Q&A show today, and we're going to be trying to catch up on all of the old questions that I missed last time because we had so many questions. I couldn't get to them all, which I felt terrible about, but we're going to make up for that now. Which brings up, I know some people, they want to submit questions, but I should put up a sign or something. But do not give questions right now. I know a lot of people, they love to give super chats because that's how this works. So I do this Q&A show, and people are going to use super chats to have their questions read, which means they just pay to have their questions read. They get priority, of course, and so I do not want to leave those people behind. So please do not give any questions yet, which is too late. Someone just did, even though I told them not to. But hey, that's on me. I didn't tell you in time. This is just a comment. This is Julio Caesar. Oh yeah, rest in peace. Hayden, no, I never knew how to say her name. Panettiere? Panettiere. Yeah, she's the girl that was on Heroes in Nashville, and she just passed away. I didn't really have time to read about her passing or the circumstances around that, but very much rest in peace. Very sad to hear that. Of course, she went way before her time. She was, what, 30, 36? Way too early. So yes, yes indeed. And that's $5 from Julio Caesar, who wanted that to be read. Rest in peace to her. But yes, yeah, gone way too soon. Gone way. If you don't know who that is, let me see. And you know what? Excuse me. I tried to get her in here before. She didn't want to come in here, but she knows to come in here whenever I start the show. She almost does it on purpose. Like she wants to interrupt to make a big entrance. So you probably know who I'm talking about. Excuse me as I get her. She demands to enter. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, you know who I'm talking about. No, you made a big fuss, so you gotta, don't go over there on the pillow. You gotta come over here with me. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the producer herself, Pixie. Yeah, she was lying on the bed and I said, Pixie, let's do a show. And she just laid there and looked at me. But once she hears me start talking to you, she has to come in and interrupt everything to let everybody know that she's here. So yeah, all right. I'm telling y'all, do not send any super chats. Do not send any questions. Do not send any comments that you are paying to be read, because I have to read the old questions. I should probably put that up. Let me see here. You know what I want to do? I'm going to put that in the scroll right now. I don't like to have words up on the screen. That's the thing. But let me go ahead and change this. And let me see. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can just, because some of y'all need to be told. DTQ and A show. Yeah. Let me see here. DT Q&A show. Why did I put a dash in there? DT Q&A show. Answering old questions. Do not send new ones. And we'll leave that there. Maybe that will help. I'll leave that there for the moment. I should have had that up there, but I just want to make sure that I'm not cheating anybody or taking your money and not giving you what you paid for. So I'll read this one though. This is from Scar DDT. That Uwe Boll interview was great, man. Are there any other controversial directors that you'd like to do a similar interview with? Oh, man, I haven't thought about it because I don't want to make a big thing out of interviewing people that I disagree with. But, I mean, there are people who I respect that I might not like their movies, but I respect their drive. I respect their ability to follow through with whatever their whatever their creative endeavors are. I mean, because I told y'all. Here's one. And this is the easy one. I've always wanted to talk to, and I doubt this will ever happen. I'd say never. You never know. But Tyler Perry. I mean, we've made a career out of making fun of Tyler Perry movies and roasting Tyler Perry movies and roasting Tyler Perry himself. But Tyler Perry is obviously excellent at what he does. He's an excellent businessman. I'm saying this right now. That might be something that comes out later that he's been scamming people, stealing stuff from people. I don't know. Because you have a tendency to say something and then some news will come out right after and then people turn around and say, damn, you stupid. You didn't see that? No, I didn't see it because it wasn't out at the time. So, at this moment, Tyler Perry seems like he knows his audience, he knows his business, and he follows through on, I don't have to like his stuff. I don't have to sit up because it's all about taste, right? I don't have to enjoy his movies or his shows. I don't have to think that they're good. That is my opinion. And at certain levels, I do think they're good, whether that's intentionally the purpose or not. They make me laugh, and some of the stuff that makes me laugh the most are not comedies. But that's not the point. Thing is, I don't have to. Who cares if I like or dislikes what he does? There are people who do. And he knows his audience, and those people show up in droves for whatever it is that he creates. And I appreciate that. I like that. I respect that. And I respect him being a person, especially a person of color, who has done so well for himself. And I would love to just talk to him on that level about how he runs his business, what makes him so successful. I mean, I think that would be a benefit to anybody. Again, you don't have to like somebody's content or whatever it is that they produce to respect them as a successful person. And I would consider it a challenge to talk to somebody if the question came up. If he asked me, "Carl, you don't like my movie?" That's the Madea voice, by the way. I would love to be able to see if I could be honest with him and somehow let him know in a respectful way that, hey, listen, I don't agree with all your creative decisions, but I do respect you as a creative and as a business person. I think, I don't know, man. I've told you this before. I don't always enjoy the role of critic. I don't always enjoy the role of roasting, because I think that it's easy to sit back and laugh at what somebody's done. The hard thing to do is to create. So I've kind of painted myself into this corner. For those of you who don't know, I started doing this because I just wanted to see some free movies. It was all a gag. It really was. There really was no goal of trying to make this a business or try to make it something that I did regularly. I just did it as a joke at the time. But listen, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. And people started watching, so here we are, 28 years later. Yeah, it's been that long. But I've always reflected later though on, as somebody who was a creative and still is, and I know what it's like to try to make a movie. I know what it's like to do a very time-consuming process for something like animation, even just illustration. So coming from that end and with that experience, I don't always like tearing people's stuff down, man, because there are people who work hard on this stuff. It's easy to ridicule something that we don't like and act like no hard work went behind it, but these people that it takes, even for a bad movie or a movie that we consider bad, it takes years to get it done. And it's just to come in and in minutes be like, that's stupid. I don't know, man. I don't always like that. I mean, I do it, but I don't always like it. Anyway, let's see here. Let me see. Somebody said I was three in 98. Let me tell you something. I started doing this in 95. I'm laughing. When I say that, I'm like, oh, so long. No, I started doing this in 95. That's when we started doing Access Television. My friend Ian and I, we did it for 6 months, and then I did it for about a year or so by myself. So, yeah, it's been quite as they say, it's been quite the journey. All right. So let's go ahead and try to get into some of these old questions now that people paid for on the last Q&A show. Let me see. With so many of them, I got to go and make sure I start at the right spot. Oh, let me see. I think this is where I left off. Dan Evil Robot. And it's just a comment. It's just a comment. And let me go ahead and bring up something here because of this. Also, after I'm done with the YouTube questions, I did have a question that was not on YouTube. Our YouTube question, I got it from a couple of places. One was to be part of the foolishness from my friend Isaac. And then somebody else sent me an email saying, what do you think about this? To really talk about that.
Alert from Finder. Talking points can't be opened because the...
Shut up. To actually talk about that, I can't do it on YouTube. I'll have to take it off of YouTube in order to really get into it. But it's a discussion about AI concerning one thing that leads to a bigger issue. It'll make sense if you stick around. Let me see here. So let me go ahead and get ready to answer this person's question. But let me pull up something first. Y'all hear those cars out there? All day, people just race up and down. I love this house, but if there was any reason I would move, it would be to get away from all that noise. I don't understand that. Is anybody out there, are you one of those people who just gets off on letting people know how loud your car is? Are you one of these Fast and Furious wannabes? I'm gonna tell you something. Only other bros and assholes think that that's cool. And I used to think it was cool at one point. But nobody gives a fuck how loud your engine is. They really don't. You annoy most of everybody out there, except for another guy who's probably a dick like you. All right, I'm being harsh. Again, no judgment. I have nothing against car enthusiasts. I have nothing against loud cars. But when you just get out in public and you just gotta let everybody know, even people don't give a shit how loud your car is, no one cares. No one cares about your engine. It's just another loud object. Somebody said, no, I drive an electric. Yes, those type of people. Somebody said, yeah. People who fucking rev their engines and think that that's cool. Don't nobody give a shit. Everybody thinks everybody thinks you're an insecure little dick bastard. That's what they think you are. Making up everything with a loud engine because your dick can't do nothing. That might be a little harsh. I'm sorry. But really, stop. Go ahead. I just want to go and put a Snickers bar in your gas tank. Unless you're driving an electric, and electric's not going to be that loud. All right, let me see here. Oh, people, let me see what we got here. So, all right, here's the question. Not even a question, it's a comment. Nice comment, too. This is from Dan Evil Robot. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. Got to see the Odyssey on IMAX since Sunday. I love it. Now, you got to keep in mind, this is about the time the movie came out. I love it. It's too bad my grandpa passed away 5 years ago, his dad, who was an English teacher. Well, that didn't pass down to you, did it? That's crazy when you wrote that. I'm sorry. That's ironic. If you're going to brag about how your grandfather is an English teacher, then you might want to get your grammar right up in there. Just nothing, I don't mean to be mean. I'm just giving you a little helpful advice right there. But anyway, we get your point. He loves Greek mythology stories. You guys did a great review. No, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we enjoyed the film, and yeah, definitely for us around here. Now, the funny thing about the Odyssey is starting to get the backlash now, and it's anyway getting from the backlash to people who have seen, who've been like, well, it's good, but I mean, it ain't that good. Yeah, no, it's been hyped up for some people, and you're always going to have those people out there. You're going to have people who, I go into things with no expectations. I've just trained myself that way over time after seeing so many things. But you have people who are, their opinions are swayed by how much you build up something for them or tear something down for them. And then they see it and then they're like, well, shit, I mean, it ain't that good. It ain't that fucking good. And, we're getting that now with the Odyssey. I just talked to somebody not too long ago. They said, I saw it, I liked it. I don't love it like everybody, and that's okay. That's all right. I mean, we knew that was going to happen, and again, some of those people are sincere. I'm not saying those people have to love the Odyssey. See, that's the thing about a movie this big. It's become such a cultural phenomenon that it transcends cinema. It's become such a part of culture now, and now people are thinking like it's an obligation to love it. If you don't love it, then you know what? You're not American or whatever. So it's, people feel like you now have to love this. Not like it, have to love it. We got to keep in mind, there are people who are sincerely not going to like this movie, and they should not feel pressure to like it if they sincerely mean that, if they're being real. Now, we all know that asshole who's always trying to be, as we say, contrarian. always trying to be different. You know, they don't want to be with the rest of the group because, you know, they want to let people know that I got my own opinion, even if they don't. But yeah. So, I mean, but yeah, we love the movie. Thank you for the encouragement on doing a good review. I hope we did. You know, we just sit here and talk, and I prepare notes for these things, and I just hope that we do a combination of two things. I hope that we entertain mostly, but also we're able to pass along some good information while we do that. In other words, not sound stupid while we're sitting there talking about it. Let's see here. All right. Let me go to the next question that we had after that. Our comment, I don't know. Corey, you got to check out Wizard So Fun Magical Adventure 2008 for a roast. It's a freaking trip. Wizard So, let me type this. Wizard So Magical bullshit, whatever. Wizard So Magical Fun Adventure. Oh, you know what? Again, it does not depend on us. It depends on, oops. Let me see. I think we could probably play the audio on this. I don't think it's going to be something that YouTube will stop us on. Stop music. I don't think it's anything too big. But this is one of those animated movies that are so bad, and they've done well in our roast. Oh, hold on. I'm allergic to shitty animated movies. So, like, we did this movie called The Legend of Acella, which was one Turkish guy who animated this, and it looked like shit, but people loved us talking about it. What was the other one? The Christmas movie, Rhapsody Kids. People love when we talk about bad animated films. So I don't know how big this is, but I'm willing to give it a chance. But it's not our choice. You know that the viewers, the toasties, they have to vote for this.
Hello, my name is So, and I'm a wizard.
A so wizard, to be exact.
Thank you, Butterfly. I have a lot of
I don't like the way this brother looking at me, them crazy eyes right there. I don't like, that's creepy right there, but already has the potential. You know what's so great about these things is that it's the animation itself. Sometimes the animation is the most hilarious thing, and people just love seeing how bad that animation can get and how badly these things can be made. And so if there's a demand for this, and some people have already seen it, spread it around, tell people about it. If we ever get around to this and people want to see it, they vote for it, we'll do it. That's the way it works. But thanks for the heads up on that. I'll go and give it a look. See if this gets less creepy. see if this dude can stop looking at me with those damn cocaine eyes he's got right there. So I'll take a look. It's about an hour long. I like that. I like when we have shorter films to do because it just means it's less time with me watching that, and I could get it prepared a lot sooner. But thank you. And that was from Krispy Kreme McDonald's, gave $5. By the way, Dan Evil Robot gave $20 to have his comment read. Max Parker, I didn't even know you looked at the trailer for Killer Bean. I probably missed it or something. Oh, this guy's, I think, are you the guy that's trying to get us to do the Killer Bean movie? Again, it's another film with really terrible animation, but it's just something about that nobody wants. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just everybody who's looked at this has said, hell no, we're not doing this. This is the guy trying to get us to do the roast for this. Yeah, and everybody just like, no, hell no, we're not doing this. So again, out of my hands, it depends on the toasties. If they vote for it, I'll gladly do it. You guys pay for it. You know, we have to take subscriptions to do these, 50 subscriptions usually. So if they pay for it, then yeah, you know, who am I to deny you? But yeah. But this dude is campaigning hard. He got a hard on for these beans, man. I don't know what it is about this bean that makes his dick hard. But yeah, keep campaigning, man. Dreams do come true. That was $5 from Max Parker. Elijah Isaiah. Is that who I think it is? Is that the Elijah that I keep calling Isaiah? Who? I don't know if you're watching, but I hope you're feeling better, man. I'll leave it at that. We miss you. If that is you. $5. I know you probably explained it, but it still boggles my mind how you managed to get an interview with Uwe Boll despite hating his film. Well, I don't know how that came about either. Kevin King was the one who actually, and Kevin King is my production assistant. As I said, I can't say enough nice things about the guy. He's incredible. He's gotten to the point now where he just can read my mind and just move 10 steps ahead of me of what I will be thinking later on and just get it done before I even think about it. So yeah, he's incredible, man. And he's the one that got the Uwe Boll. Let me see. Put this up here. Uwe Boll interview. DT. Yeah, here it is right here. So yeah, he's the one that put this together, man. And I don't know what he did. So I'll tell you what I think, man, here. And as you can see, I'm about to come up. He's talking, and I'm about to say my piece. And there I am right there. Hey, you lying son of a bitch. So, again, that was a challenge because I did not like that movie. I hated that movie. It's probably still, give you a little spoiler here. I'm talking about Citizen Vigilante. That's the movie that I was interviewing him about. As you can see, he has Trump sleepy syndrome going on right there. I do respect somebody that is willing to talk to not just me, but a lot of people that hate what he does, or at least that particular film. And so, Kevin King was the one that reached out because Kevin King said, "What the hell? What? All he can do is say no, or his people can say no." So he just gave it a shot, and Uwe Boll said yes. So I really think, as much as I'm giving Kevin King praise, and he deserves it, I think really it came down to Uwe Boll. Because Uwe Boll he's ready to talk to anyone about his movies, especially the people that hate his films. For some reason, he gets off on that. He loves being challenged and challenging people. So it was really him that said yes to it. And it wasn't just me. He's been talking to a lot of people that have not really enjoyed his movie. So I don't think it was that hard to get him. Again, not to say that Kevin King is not to have some credit for getting him to do the interview. After all, he's the one that initiated and reached out. But Uwe Boll, to his credit, he's willing to talk to people about his films. And not just the people that love the movie, but he really wants to talk to people that hate his films. Not dislike, hate his films. All right, let's go to, let's see what we have here. Tony Movie Chappelle, $5. I would love to see a roast of Blade Trinity. It's in my top 5 guilty pleasures. I know it's not very good, but it's an absolute blast to watch. And the villain. He just left it right there. And the villain. I guess he means like, oh, and that villain. Yeah, I tell you what. I've only seen Blade Trinity once. Let me see here. I've only seen that movie one time. And I remember not enjoying it too much. And it was for the reasons that Wesley Snipes, there he is right there. Hiya! Wesley Snipes did not like the movie. A lot of people thought, if I'm correct, a lot of people thought he was being egotistical when he was talking about how the movie's supposed to be about him, but then they brought in Ryan Reynolds and, what was it, Jessica Biel that they brought in also? I don't remember. But I remember thinking like, man, I really wish this was more about Blade, and that's all. I can't tell you what else it is I did not like about that film. But maybe that's why I need to give this another chance, give it another watch, because who knows? I have been known to watch a movie again and change my mind. I mean, this movie came out, when did this come out? 2004. So this came out 22 years ago. I was a different person 22 years ago. I would tell you that right now. Hell, I was a person 22 days ago probably. So yeah, I'll be willing to watch this again. And as I said, we'll roast it, but during the roast, if I end up liking it better than I did last time, I will come in and say, yeah, not that I was wrong, but I just shifted my opinion. So who knows? But again, it has to come up. That is something that is very likely to come up at some point. You know, it's a popular film. Everybody's heard about it. Well, I'm sure that I'll find some kind of reason to do it. Let's see here. Let's move on to our next question. Oh, let me see. And that was $5. From, again, Elijah. Elijah gave another $5. Elijah, where you getting all this money, man? Let me see here. $20 from Furious. How do you feel about Coyote versus Acme? I feel like it wouldn't be this popular if it wasn't about to get shoved. I'm happy it's been released, but I feel like if it was to come out normally, people would not talk about it as much. Excuse me, I just got through eating and getting little burps. Hey, listen, I agree with that. I do think, because if you want my honest opinion about this, now I don't want to curse this film, and I'm glad we're talking about it because I just talked about this yesterday. Some people wondering, are we going to review this movie? And Martin and I got screeners for it, so we've already seen the film. A lot of people have. There are reviews already coming out. And I went ahead and looked. Now, I usually don't look at reviews or ratings ahead of time, but this movie already has, at least last time I saw, like 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, I don't know how many critics that is that reviewed it, but already off to a good start. But after having seen it, now this is not me saying whether I think the movie's good or bad, but after having seen it, and even before going in, I'm not sure how the box office is going to be on this. I'm not sure how this movie's going to do. It's a late August film. It's still going to be going up against some big contenders that are hanging on the box office. And I'm not sure what the budget is on this. And again, that's not a reflection of my opinion of the film, my rating of the film. You'll have that closer to the release date. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I think probably the news about shelving this film, you know, not letting the public see it, just making a big tax write-off, putting it in the Warner Brothers vault, that was probably the best marketing for this. I think the film, I think word of mouth and reviews and all that kind of stuff would have helped if it's, you know, because it is getting positively reviewed. And I don't think that's because of any of the stuff that happened with the film. I think the movie really does stand on its own. But yeah, man, this just made more people curious about this. That was some of the best marketing they had. Because I don't know, even with that kind of marketing, I still don't know how this movie's going to do. But it did get on a lot of more people's radar because of the controversy behind it. And a lot of people, it just made a lot of more people eager to see it. You know what? People love an underdog, or in this case, an under coyote, whatever. And I think people, now that with the movie being shoved and now with the film getting some good reviews, people they're just rooting for the film. They're rooting for this movie because they feel like this movie was kind of being done wrong. They feel like the people who worked on this have been done wrong. And so they just want to see this movie succeed. So it's kind of an underdog story, man. And how that's going to affect the film in the end, I don't know, but I think that definitely helped. So yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree with you 100%. Not sure how this movie would have done without all of this controversy. I honestly think it would not have done all that well. And again, I'd hate to say that because I'm not trying to bring this movie down or influence anybody's opinion. I'll say this. And again, I'm trying to do this without giving you any kind of hint into what my review would be. But if you have been rooting for this movie, you want to see this movie do well, go out and support this film. I think that much alone, it is enough to tell people that it's worth doing that. It is worth going out and supporting. It is not a waste of time. It is worth going out and trying to give this movie as much success as you can if you really believe in it. If you really thought that this movie is something that should do well, then go out and help it do well, and you will not regret your time and money spent on this film. That's what I would say. Let me see here. Some people still giving me questions, man, even though I'm saying right here to not send me questions in case I can't get to them because I'm trying to answer old ones. But I mean, I will try to get to your questions anyway. Yeah, that still got a lot. We're actually doing good. Let me see here. Yeah, we're doing well. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel right there. I think we can manage this. We can do this, y'all. All right. Especially when you get messages like this, $1 from Happy Melted City. Just give me a little winky dink right there. Look at that, a little wink emoji. I appreciate that. Hey, I'll buy that for $1. That was worth the 99 cents that you spent on that. Tony Chappie, D9 Nelly, blah, 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 blah. And personally, someone that can listen to R. Kelly music, and I'm just reading like he wrote it. I can listen to R. Kelly musics and watch Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2 despite knowing that creators are terrible people. Hey, man, I don't judge. I do not judge at all. We are all contributing to something that's probably kind of vile out there. We're just not ready to give up on it. I can't watch Roman Polanski movies. That's my thing. I'm not out to judge people. If you don't know who Roman Polanski is, Roman Polanski, a lot of people do, but I'll just go ahead and tell you right now. Oh, here he is. Roman Polanski, I know I'm not supposed to use these words during streams or whatnot, but I mean, I'm not, what are we, we're all adults here, okay? Who cares? Roman Polanski raped a minor. I think the girl was 13 or something years old at the time. And I know he had a terrible life. His wife, who was pregnant at the time, was a famous actress. What was his wife's name? She was played by Margot Robbie in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I know her name, knew her name before that movie, but somebody help me out. What's her name here? Let me see here. Some people say, Sharon Tate. Of course. Thank you. Keep forgetting the name. Sharon Tate. He had a terrible life. Sharon Tate was murdered by the cult members of the Helter Skelter, Charles Manson. And it was an awful incident. She was murdered while pregnant. Other people in the house were murdered by these psycho women, and it was awful. There's no reason to let this man be excused for what he did. He also did something very heinous. He sexually assaulted this 13-year-old girl, and he fled the country to avoid any kind of conviction. And what I really hate about it is that, and this goes to show you, everybody's full of shit, okay? No matter whether you're a liberal or a conservative, we all have our people that we want to support no matter what, which I think is awful. As human beings, we should see when somebody has done something terrible and hold them accountable for it, okay? So this man fled the country and still made movies that were released in Hollywood, and people still kissed his ass and thought he was a genius. And that just sickens me. All right, I don't always like to be a person who tries to take some moral high ground over something else and act like I'm that moral myself, or I'm that good. We all have our faults. I've never raped a 13-year-old girl though, you know, and I never will. And I don't think that anybody who has done something like that should be, listen, if time has passed and whatever, if you want to find some reason to excuse it because of time passed, okay, whatever. I have better things to worry about up to a certain point. But just to openly embrace this person again, like nothing happened, and call him a genius just because he makes movies. I don't give a fuck. Directors, politicians, anybody in some high celebrities, all these, they are not gods. They are not people that you praise so much that you look past their crimes and terrible things that they've done. That's the thing that we always do. We look at people and hold them up to this godly standard to the point where we worship them and just overlook them as human beings who have done terrible things. And that's what he did. And a lot of people like him have. Of course, we have a lot of politicians that we treat that way. And so just because that situation sickens me every time I think about it, I cannot watch his movies. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not contributing to something myself. I use this example all the time. You hear me use it again, especially for people who say I boycott this and that. And I say, all right, you know what? Because I don't claim to boycott anything. I don't claim to hold. If you say you listen to R. Kelly music, I don't. If an R. Kelly song comes on, I'm not pulling over, changing the channel or whatever. But do I actively listen to his music? No. But as far as somebody who does, I'm not out to shame you. I'm not out to look down on you. As long as you're not telling me that you support what R. Kelly did, or oh man, they did him wrong. And nah, there's too much evidence out there to point that R. Kelly is a foul person. Okay. I don't want to hear. If you're a supporter of that person, that's a different thing. Now, if you can separate the asshole from the art, then that's fine. I don't. Again, I'm not out there to really judge anybody. But and I can't really do that because I'm not boycotting anything myself. Everybody thinks that they're boycotting something and think that they're making a difference. No, what you're doing is you were giving up something that's easy and you probably didn't like it anyway. That's not boycotting. That's just doing what you would have done anyway. Not eat this food, not support this business. And that's the challenge comes in when you have to let something go that is really a sacrifice. This is the example I was saying I always use. I don't think Jeff Bezos, at least from the outside, I think he's one of those billionaires who does not care as much about people or causes that he tries to come across on. I mean, I'm gonna get my politics in there. If you don't, I'm not trying to challenge anybody. I'm just telling you how I feel. We all have our different opinions. Let's respect each other. Him being so close to Trump, he supports a lot of policies that I disagree with. And Jeff Bezos, if you don't know, Jeff Bezos is the man who created Amazon. Now, I think he's a billionaire that is part of the wealth inequality problem that we have here. I think some of the ways he lives, his extravagant, luxurious ways and not helping some of the environment. He's one of those guys, I think, with a super yacht and all that kind of stuff. I think that some of the policies that he probably aligns himself with just by being aligned with Trump, I don't agree with. But have I given up Amazon? Am I still getting my 2-day delivery? Am I still getting my packages delivered because it's so convenient? Yeah. So that's why I can't judge anybody, man. We are all out there. I don't point fingers at people unless I feel like I absolutely am justified in doing so. But if I'm not willing to give up anything in this moment, I can't point the finger at somebody and judge them for not doing it. We all are contributing to something because we're still at a point where we don't want to sacrifice things that makes our lives convenient. So, yeah, that's my opinion. I mean, and again, I got to respect other people's opinions, whether I like it or not. So whether I'm an R. Kelly fan or not, you go ahead, brother, and do what you do. Listen to R. Kelly. Hey, get that ignition all day. But if you support the man, I don't really agree with you on that. I'll challenge you on that. I probably don't want to talk to you about that if that's the case. But yeah, if you just listen to the music or you watch the movies or whatever, I don't care. Let's see here. Oh, where are we? I tell you what, I'm no R. Kelly in many ways. I don't pee on people and I can't sing. So let me see here. And I'm fine with that. What is this? Raji Shear. Love your show, Corey, and thank you guys. What do you think of the new Lanterns trailer? I think it looks dope. Now, keep in mind, this was written a while back, and Lanterns is out already. And we tried our best to get the whole season to watch so that we could do a review for you. So it looks like we'll have to just review this weekly. And they did send us the episode right when the show was coming out, like about an hour before the show was about to come on. So I haven't watched it yet, but Lanterns, I've been hearing good things about it. So it's not even a matter of the trailer anymore. It's pretty much, we have the first episode, and somebody's already spoiled it for me. But no, I've been hearing good things about Lanterns. If y'all don't know, this is about Green Lantern. It is a part of kind of cautious about this because, we've been talking about how we want to see Green Lantern in space and doing Green Lantern space stuff. After all, he's part of space, Space Police Corps. And compared to True Detective, and they've said don't judge, there's a lot of stuff that they didn't want to show because a lot of this stuff they want to keep as a surprise. So probably a lot of the space stuff we're going to see as the series goes on. I don't know how many episodes it is. Anybody seen it, by the way? Anybody have any opinions on this? Is it good? I'm sure a lot of you have seen the first episode. It was on last night. Chaos Jumper. Let me see here. Pro Endrian. Yeah, some people are comparing it. It's been described as True Detective. Take that how you will. I guess it'll be revealed how later. Oh, let me see. A lot of people say when they saw it, they enjoyed it. It's got a lot of promise. The Black Knight says it's really good. So it looks like the word on that is positive, and I haven't seen reviews on it yet, so I don't know what it's like the Rotten Tomato score is, but it looks like it's for the DCEU after Supergirl. You know what is funny about this? So I wasn't crazy about Supergirl, y'all. You know this. We saw our review. I didn't hate it. There were some things I liked about it, but disappointment is what I'd say. But when this didn't do well, and I defended your girl as Supergirl, the actress, but when this didn't come out, and it was a bad idea to do a Supergirl movie this soon theatrically. It should have been, if you ask me, it should have been a show. And I don't think it should have been what this movie was about, which they were trying to rescue. And it wasn't something in the trailer that was shown. They were trying to help out, I guess, what do you call it? Girls who were being kidnapped and traded as sex slaves or whatever. But yeah, sex slavery. I thought that was the wrong thing. I thought it would have been cool to show her on Krypton like they did in the movie in just small parts. I thought that would have been great to show for most of the film. Thought the villain was weak. But anyway, you heard the review. If you didn't go watch it, I'm just repeating myself. But my point with this is that it was one movie, and the DCU had some momentum, and then this film comes out, and it's one movie, and everybody's talking about, oh man, is the DCEU in trouble now? Oh no, is James Gunn in trouble? Oh shit, this is the beginning of the end. It's one movie, y'all, and I know movies are a big deal when they lose millions and millions of dollars, and this movie lost a shitload of money, all right? But it's just one movie. It's too early to say if this is the beginning of the end. When Spider-Man came out, people talking about, oh shit, Spider-Man is doing well, is shitting all over the DC universe. Oh, the DC's done. It's one movie, y'all. Everybody's so quick to say something's gonna be huge or something's gonna be a failure. It's one film. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's too early to tell. It's definitely a bump in the road, but it's still early enough to also have some room for improvement. Somebody said I'm trying to rage bait them. What did I do? Let me see. Let me see here. Somebody said I'm trying to rage bait them. What am I trying to rage bait you about? I'm not even, look, you ain't rage baiting me. I'm not about to get into the argument. I'm just kind of curious about what it is that I'm making you mad about. I remember I said, no, I'm not about to lose. I'm not about to crash out. I'm not. I'm just curious. Somebody said I'm about to make them mad. What did I do? And I know somebody said don't take the bait. I'm not, because I'm not gonna get into it. I'm just curious, man. Anyway, let me see here. Let me go ahead and get to the next question. Man, we're doing well. We're doing very well. Let me see. Excuse me. This is $5 again from Elijah Isaiah. Big money. I feel like a stripper you just throwing money at right now because you've paid for about 4 questions, maybe 5. I don't know if you heard about this, but what are your thoughts on Paramount making an animated Survivor movie? It's basically Zootopia meets Survivor. I have not heard anything about that. So I can't really say. I mean, it could be good. I haven't heard about it. It sounds like it's not in production yet. I don't think there's any production stills I can see. I don't even know what the name of the movie is by reading your comment. But yeah, I don't know, man. Anything can be, conceptually, anything can be good. All depends on the script and all depends on the execution. So yeah, more power to them. Let's see what they do. I don't mean to brush that question off. I don't have much to go by on it. Revolver Ocelot. Loved your Metal Gear. $20. Hey, Corey, been a huge fan of you and your team since the Spill days. Keep it up. Keep up all the good work. Since the Odyssey just came out, have you thought about doing a retro review of Troy? That could be good. You know what? Troy has been brought up several times since the Odyssey came out. And one of the people to bring it up is Oz. It made him want to go back and watch Troy again. If you don't know what Troy is a, let me see, here's another fictional Greek epic featuring some people that they thought were going to be in, this is Wolfgang Peterson who did it. I forgot that. Some people that thought, some characters they thought would be in the Odyssey. I remember this being good, man. I love I've only seen it once, to be honest with y'all. Has Brad Pitt. Is Brad Pitt Achilles? I believe. And I remember watching this and I remember enjoying the realistic approach to the mythology. But I haven't seen it since. And I just remember thinking, man, it was decent. It was good. I liked it. I respected that film. But I wasn't compelled to go and watch it again. So I don't know. I would love to see it again just so that I can see how I feel about it. Damn, very young Orlando Bloom. Yeah, man. I don't know. I definitely think it was a well-made film at the time. As you can see, it's got its own epic scope to it. So yeah, I mean, this is a movie that I would love to find a reason to watch again. Now that window has probably passed since the Odyssey. I mean, we're still doing well. So I'll tell you what. That's a good idea. Now, I'm not saying it'll happen, but just in case we don't have something to review or something to talk about on a Sunday, sometimes we have nothing that I think will work for what we do, and we'll do a retro review to kind of fill the time. I don't want to feel like it's a time waster. They're good things to do when you don't have a lot of topics to talk about. And so Troy, within the next couple of weeks or so, we don't have something to do, then Troy could possibly be a good retro review at that time before the Odyssey moves on. So yeah, just see how I feel about this. I'm actually very curious about it. Because, I mean, listen, I know some people will laugh and be like, man, you don't remember? When you see so many movies that like we do, and who knows, you probably do, but it's just, as years go on, it's very easy to forget some of the things that you remember about a film. Which is why I always say sometimes I'm not surprised that I change my mind about something. All right. Good question, though. Hibachi, $5. Well, $4.99, but we'll round it up. Thoughts on Kevin Feige, greenlighting Ghost Rider, but not Blade? And what is your ideal Blade film? I have a pretty controversial take on Blade because a lot of people are saying that a lot of black shows and movies over at Marvel are kind of getting the shaft, and they feel like it's a racial thing, and I don't. I mean, it could be. I'm not gonna lie. It very well could be, but let me see here. I know people have been very upset about Wonder Man not getting a second season, which is an excellent show. It really is. You should see this. If you haven't, I highly recommend checking it out. Now, did they get rid of it because it's a black show? I don't think so. As I said, it could be, but I know that they've been talking about going in, cutting back on TV, and this could have been just a casualty of that. It's not to say that you won't see Wonder Man again at some point down the line. It's probably just timing right now. It's probably to say that Wonder Man can appear in some movie or something. And the reason why I'm not too bothered by this is because Wonder Man season 1 was so excellent, and it told a story that I don't know if I'm ready for them to just rush out a season 2. Sometimes we always say we don't need a season 2 for something, and this is one of those shows where I'm thinking that I'm fine at the moment. Also for Blade, look, I don't know what the hell is going on with Blade. That one I have no idea at all. I can't tell you whether it's a racial thing or not. I can't tell you why it's been in so much production turmoil. I don't know what the hell is going on with Blade. But I will say this. Again, this is pretty much a hot take here. This is something a lot of people probably won't agree with. But I'm glad Blade didn't get made. I want to see Blade get made when Marvel has their shit together. I want to see Blade get made whenever all the hurdles that they had to get through, all the trouble that they were having, the writer's strike, COVID, the multiverse confusion going on. I didn't want Blade to be appearing at that point. I want Blade to come in when things are right and we have a good Blade film. Because Blade being a character of color, if he doesn't come in correct, then it's easy to blow off a character of color, and I don't even like when I have to say that. I think that's shitty. But it's easier to blow off a character of color and blame it on that character's ethnicity than if the movie's a success. If it's a success, then it has a fair chance of getting to where of us getting more of that character. So, but yeah, man. I would love somebody think could do a special presentation with Blade. I don't want one of those special presentations, man. I want Blade to come in and be a strong character like he was before. I want that Blade from the first movie. I want. Only thing is, man, we're so used to having Wesley Snipes. I don't know how they're gonna go in and have another badass like Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes is the martial artist. Wesley Snipes had the charisma, the attitude. Wesley Snipes he was everything that Blade needed to be before he ever put that trench coat on and those teeth. But yeah, I want all the circumstances to be correct and in place and just right when they do it. And I'm glad it didn't happen in his last phase. So yeah, that's my take on that. I know it doesn't please everybody out there, and like I said, for characters of color or characters of any kind of group that's marginalized or a minority or whatever, I want the circumstances for those to be done well. I thought for example, the Marvels. I'm not a big fan of that, and I thought they messed up with that. I thought they were rushing that out at a point where they were trying to connect it to the TV show, and they were trying, or when I say TV show, the TV shows, like they were trying to connect it to Miss Marvel, and I think the script was weak because they were trying to do that, and it went a little too fast, and I don't know. I don't know. And it just seemed like the circumstances were not there for that, and you saw what happened with that. There was a backlash against it after that point, and woman characters and whatnot. Somebody said I'm back. I saw the weirdo trying to bait Corey. Yeah, believe me, I wasn't going to fall for it, man. It seemed like it was kind of obvious that somebody was trying to bait me, but I was curious as to how they were trying to do that. But whatever. Whatever, man. Hey, if that's how you want to spend your time trying to make me mad, go ahead. Good luck to you. Oh, let's see here. This is the last one. Which is good. We've been here for an hour. Hey, guys. This is from Scarface. $5. Hey, guys, I was wondering if y'all ever saw that movie called Mom and Dad with Nicolas Cage. I did not. Let me see here. Mom and Daddy. Mom and Dad. Let me see. Mom and Dad movie. I'm just going to put in Nick Cage. Because I did not. Let me see here. Mom and Dad. Movie came out in 2018. I wish I could show you the trailer, but we can only look at some images. And no, I did. To answer your question, no, I did not see it. But if anybody saw it and they recommended, I'd be more than happy to give this a shot. You don't want to do that in the cage with this crazy ass. He's ready to beat that boy's ass. The fuck you do? Nick Cage, it's easy to write him off when with him doing the crazy Nick Cage stuff. But whenever you see him in something like that last Spider-Man show that he was in, he really is good. And I'm always at least curious to see what he does. So if you say that this is worth seeing, I'll check it out. It's directed by Brian Taylor. Oh, and Selma Blair. Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah. So if anybody said this is good, because I heard Pig is good. I haven't seen Pig yet. Yeah, Nicolas Cage is a talented guy, and I really would love to give a shot to anything that he does. I'll check it out. Thank you for the recommendation. All right. Now I can take this down. And let's see. Maybe, just maybe, we had some new questions come up. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm going to refresh. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over to our page and put the show on. And let me actually cut the sound down, just in case my loud ass comes up. All right, there we are. And yes, the show is up and going. Thank you guys for, we just made today, 317 subscribers. Nice, very nice. And I'm gonna go to the fan funding chat, the super chat, and see how many people gave some questions today. And we do have quite a few. All right. I don't want to, well, I guess I could. Okay, I'll stay here for a little bit until I feel like we just are getting too many questions. And if somebody feels like we're getting too many questions out there, let me know and I will stop. Because unless there's some other way to do it, I'm sure there is. My dumb ass just hasn't looked to see how. I have to just cut off the YouTube chat so no more questions are coming in. If there's another way to do that, I'll gladly leave it on. But let's go ahead and answer some of these questions that we have. I'll read some comments. And we already read a couple of them. We'll go down to the ones, start with the ones that we did not. $2. Did you hear about the movie Buddy? Horror Barney. Buddy? Let me see. Buddy? Is that the movie with your dude from Get Out who's doing a horror take on Barney the dinosaur? Let me see here. I think that might be it. People talking about them making a horror movie out of Barney. I don't. Yeah, let me see here. Buddy, by horror. I'm looking it up right now. I don't. I don't see. Unless you're talking about. Oh, here it is. I found the Wikipedia page for it. Buddy, written by Casper Kelly. So this is not the thing that I'm thinking about. An American comedy slasher film directed by Casper Kelly from a screenplay by Casper Kelly and Jamie King. Stars Christopher Minoli, Topher Grace, Keegan-Michael Key, Patton Oswalt, In the film, a group of children are trapped inside a surreal 1990s style children's television show that they must try to escape when their giant bright orange unicorn host turns into a brutal molest. Oh, I'm into this, man. This sounds great. Now, I could be a piece of shit for all I know, but this sounds awesome. Let me see. Oh, of course, we can't play the sound, but I guess this is what you're talking about right here. It looks like it. Yeah, so it's Barney inspired. You see that big ass, that cheap ass costume? Yeah, this. Oh, from the creator of Too Many Cooks. Yeah, I'm into this, man. Y'all know I love puppets. If there's anything I love more than puppets and big mascots costumes, it's creepy puppets and creepy mascots. Oh yeah, I didn't know this existed. I didn't know what this was, but yeah, I'm unless somebody tells me otherwise, I'm completely into this. That's weird and creepy shit like that is my thing, man. And if you haven't seen Too Many Cooks, it was something that, it was one of those weird Adult Swim things that came on and it got weirder as it went along. It started out as like an 80s sitcom, and then the more it kept going, it got more surreal. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's online. Yeah, I remember watching it on Adult Swim, and of course you're watching it and thinking like, all right, this is funny, and then it's just, but whatever, it's not that funny. And then everything starts going crazy and getting like I said, just getting kind of creepy, and you sit up there and it's kind of making your flesh crawl a little bit, and you're captivated at that point. You can't turn away. But Buddy, good old Buddy, yeah, I'm into that. Unless you say it's shitty, and then I'll save my time. Let's see here. This is $5 from OTMK.E. Reportedly, the director from Thunderbolts is going to direct the new X-Men movie. What are your thoughts about this, K-Man? We just talked about that yesterday when we were talking about the Doom trailer, Doomsday. And I love Thunderbolts. I thought Thunderbolts was the one that showed that, all right, finally, Marvel, you're getting your shit together. Thing about Thunderbolts is that not a lot of people saw it when it came out, and I think that's because Marvel was still, people were still kind of reeling from the shaky period that they had gone through. But Thunderbolts is good, man. I like Thunderbolts because it was a great combination of Marvel humor, but there were some really dark moments that we hadn't had like that in Marvel for a while. And it was something that was it was self-contained. They weren't trying to connect to too many things. And it was just well directed also. And I thought it was a great balance of everything out there. This director is more than capable to handle, especially with the kind of, now this, the X-Men, they're a team. And they're a team of people who probably come in with some differences, and they're not getting along at first, which is something I think that needs to happen with the X-Men before they get to Xavier's school. So that's exactly what this movie is. He probably was chosen to direct the X-Men because of how well he did with all the different personalities on this team right here. So just by that alone, yeah. I mean, Thunderbolts was so well done. Why not? There are a lot of people that they could have chosen that would have been a lot worse as a decision for directing that film. So yeah, I'm very positive about that. Suarez says, "Sup again, Corey. You're definitely the last person I should be asking this, but with how you've talked, you put caps on every word, by the way. So if I have trouble reading this, it's because I'm stumbling and tripping all these capital letters. But how you've talked against the manosphere for a while, what is your honest take on man calling women bitches?" I don't know, man. Depends on how it happens, because I'm guilty of doing that. Because I look at something humorously and I'll say something like, yeah, that bitch went crazy. But at the same time, I call man bitches too. I've even caught myself saying about a guy, man, look at that hole right there. I had a friend of mine who used to always do that. He used to call inanimate object hoes. He used to call dudes hoes, man hoes. I remember he needed a ride one day. He was talking about his car. Yeah, that hoe ain't working. So, you know, I remember something else would happen. I think we went by Jack in the Box or something. He was eating. I was like, man, how you food? Yeah, that hoe's good. He used that word for everything. So I don't know, man. If it's at a point where it becomes, maybe I haven't thought about it deeply, so maybe this is not a great answer. But if it ever becomes to a point where it is so offensive that it becomes like the N-word or something, I'll be glad to not use it. But it's not at that point yet. And I would never use it in a derogatory way towards women. Like, hey, bitch, come here. You know, no, I wouldn't do that. I've done it to dudes before, but I wouldn't do a woman like that. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't use the term to demean women. In other words, I'd kind of use it to accentuate, or pepper my language, but I don't think I'd use it to actually demean women. Use it as some way of authority over them. Hey, bitch. I'll give an example. I just thought of this because I was about to say, hey, bitch, go fix my dinner. I wouldn't use it this way in this story I'm about to tell. So, and you've heard me tell this story before. We have some new people, so if you heard it, excuse me. For the new people out there, I wasn't present for this story, but somebody told me. It's a guy named Trey who sometimes watches the show. He told me he went to see SpongeBob with his kids. There's this little Mexican dude, or a little Latin dude or whatever, a little brown dude with a hat on, and there's this large white woman sitting next to him. And I think they got some kids with them too, but they're all watching SpongeBob. And he heard the guy say, bitch, I'm hungry. And I think the woman picked up a hot dog and fed him. This is what was relayed to me. And after he took a bite, chewed it, swallowed it, sat there and watched old SpongeBob for a little bit more, and then he finally said, bitch, I'm thirsty. And she picked up a cup of something, put the straw up to his mouth like a little sippy cup or something, and the dude drank. And she put it down, and I don't know what happened. I don't know how many bitches was followed next by, bitch, I want dessert. Bitch, get me some Skittles. I don't know. I don't know where it went, but he told me this. And if Trey's ever on this show, if I can ever call him, he will tell you that that's what happened. I was not there for it. Point is, I wouldn't, and especially with kids, because apparently this was a pimp, his hoe and his family that were, for some reason, seeing SpongeBob that day in the movie theater. I would never use that term to tell a woman to feed me or give her instructions. I would never use that word like that. So I'll hope that kind of explains how I feel about that word. Yeah, it was. I'm sure it was a pimp. I was not there for it. It was a little brown pimp with his very large white hoe, and I use that word correctly because I think that's what she was, and they're little hoe kids. So I don't know, little pimpettes. Let's see here. This is Bleak. Bleaks 818. Corey, I think you should check out these artists like K.A., Billy Woods, Armand Hammer, Open Mike Eagle. Open Mike Eagle I do know. Others I don't. If you love MF Doom, Open Mike Eagle I have heard. The others maybe I have, but I'm going to say no. But I will check those out. I'm always open to new music recommendations. And like I said, man, I try not to talk about music that much these days because for a lot of reasons. One, I don't know artists, and some of these artists I might know, but I put on playlists like the radio. When you listen to the radio, after a song was done, you always have the DJ come in, and that was Open Mike Eagle with, and they would tell you everything you heard. When you listen to a playlist, you kind of have sometimes a passive attitude about it. You hear stuff, and you know you like it, you say, I'm going to check out that person later, or you look at the name and you forget. So I don't keep up with artists as much as I used to because of streaming. I used to love going to the music store and finding my favorite artists or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't know who I listen to these days. And I should keep up with that more, but there's so much to listen to. Also, you know, I'm very careful, man. As Martin said one time, people are very much gatekeepers. I listen to everything, but I don't ever want to. I don't want to give the impression that I'm an unk trying to listen to what the kids are listening to. I still like listening to hip hop. I listen to all kind of things. I listen to rock. I listen to pop. I love jazz. You know, who knows if there's a country song I like, I'll listen to it. But I don't ever want people to think I'm try hard or I'm trying to know all about music, especially when it comes to music geared toward younger audiences. I don't talk about it. I don't want to give people that impression. I'm trying to be like, hey, fellow kids, and all that kind of stuff. I listen to what I listen to. I listen to what I like, and unless I really have to talk about it, I just kind of keep it to myself, man. You know, because again, you know, people are so protective about their generation stuff, and you supposed to be stay in your lane, and like, fuck off. You know, people should be able to do whatever they want to do if they're real about it, and you'll know if they are or not. Let me see here. What we got? $2 from Noon Mountain. Finish Expedition 33. Man, there are a lot of games I should finish. And Expedition 33, you are 100% right about that. Yeah, Expedition 33, if you haven't heard, it's a game that surprised me, man, because it's a game where it has turn-based combat. And I'm not all about that. But this game, first of all, is beautiful. I enjoy just playing it and watching it. But I have been so busy these days. I've been so busy traveling. So, and there's some examples of gameplay right there. I was actually getting into it, man. I really like the gameplay in this. They've found a creative way to do the turn-based combat. That would be great, though, some turn-based comedy. They found a way to do it to where it doesn't feel like you're just a passive player. That's one of the things I didn't like about turn-based combat. But yeah, I'll finish it, man. So I had my cousin die. I've been going to London taking care of that. I had a brother die recently. Also, just on the weekends, I've been trying to catch up on things that I've been getting behind on. Man, I've been doing just more business stuff lately. And I won't bore you with what that is, but it's just stuff, I mean, just for the, you know, double-toasted administrative stuff, business stuff. I've been having to take care of more stuff like that. And just, man, as much as I love video games, I just haven't been able to play as much as I want. And I don't know, man. I got to change that. I don't know. I've been going out more because, I mean, the more you work, the more you want to go and hang out. Excuses. But yes, I should go in and finish this game. It's on the list. Maybe I'll get on there and start playing with some of you guys and figure it out. I might put it on easy just so I can get by it quicker so I can get some other games. I see why people play games on easy now. I did play the hell out of Resident Evil, though. I beat that game about 8 times. And I still have the urge to play it because I love it so much. But yeah, I need to get to some of the other games that I have. Let me see here. Yeah, so I hear you. I'll take that as an order. Let's see. Satyas, $5. Evening, good sir. Congratulations on your my Camry SE. Yeah, man. I got a new car, y'all. It's cool. I'm not a person who goes crazy about cars, but man, it is nice having a modern car. If I can get a nice car and make it last for a long time, which is what I did with this, I had a BMW SUV before, and I drove the hell out of that. And, I mean, you talk about till the wheels fall off. Those wheels fell off about 10 times, and I put them right back on, kept rolling. But it was a 2013. And it didn't have the modern conveniences and tech like Apple CarPlay, the nice touch panel screen. Oh, what else, man? The safety, all the safety enhancements they had in it. It's just, I feel like I've just entered the 21st century in that car. And so I'm grateful to have that. Yeah, the other car broke down, man. It didn't break down, but it was well past. It had 155,000 miles on it, and they're supposed to really go to like 130,000. They're not cars built to last for a long time, at least not that particular model. So I just went ahead and got rid of it while it was actually still drivable. It's not fun for a car to just die on you forever on the road. Like, you can't go in and give it like a jump. Like, that car is dead, and you got to get it towed and all this kind of stuff and figure out how to get rid of it. That's happened to me before. But anyway, just remember to get your transmission fluid changed out as well, perhaps every 50,000 miles. Yeah. So here's the thing about me. I know a lot of people probably think that I'm, just because of, again, my goofy nature and me being so busy and being a busybody, you probably think I have trash everywhere. You probably think I'm one of the most disorganized people in the world. I'm actually a very clean person. I like to stay tidy. Now, the studio, there's so much stuff in here. I would not use that as an example. This is, I won't say it's nasty, but this just got toys and trinkets and knickknacks and stuff that alcohol, and tons of equipment, wires everywhere. That's something that you just can't avoid. I could probably clean up better, but when you have this much equipment, it's not going to be the tidiest looking thing. But the rest of the house, I keep organized, I keep clean, I keep a clean kitchen, my bedroom is pretty organized, and I keep my car like that. I like to keep my car maintained, and I like to keep my car washed. I like to keep my car tidy. And I didn't do that with the BMW, to be honest with you. There was dog fur everywhere, but I knew I was getting to the end of that car. But yeah, this car I'm gonna take care of pretty well. I get my oil changed regularly. Yeah, I'm pretty responsible. I know a lot of people don't know that, but who is this? Somebody said, Mr. Lenny Dominguez, Corey, you are a very neat and clean person. That is true. Thank you. That's not bragging. It's just the truth. I try to stay organized. I'm the kind of person where if I look around and everything's unorganized and in disarray and kind of junky, it clutters my mind. I have to kind of look around and see that everything is in order. Everything is uncluttered. I like to have I'd like to have sort of a minimal motif around me. And I think that would work for a lot of people too. If you're cluttered, or if your surroundings are cluttered, it can affect your mind. Just consider that. All right, let's move on. $5 from Beware of Bob. I will take that advice. Look out for Bob, everybody, except for right now when I answer this question. Corey, I'm not from the USA. I was a huge fan of you on Spill. I stumbled by luck onto Double Toasted. I've been a huge fan, but never knew what happened. Okay, so many people have heard this story, Bob. And since I need to be aware of you, I'm going to repeat it again so you don't hurt me. So for those who haven't heard, we did something called Spill before. It was mostly centered on animated characters that I had created for everyone, kind of alter egos. And for a while, we were kind of like the gorillas. You didn't see us. People didn't know what we looked like. You just saw the characters, and that's how people were content to see us. And it worked out, but I don't know why I did this. I made the terrible business decision of being hired by a company to develop the idea for them, which means that my idea, the thing that I initiated, pretty much my property, was not my property anymore. I sold it to this company. At the time, it was a company called Miva. And you got to keep in mind, at the time, this is when everybody was stuck on viral. We got to find the next viral idea and make the next big viral video. And they thought that this idea of doing animated movie reviews, which is what we were doing, they thought that was such a novel idea, and that would probably be the next big thing to jump off. And when it didn't take off like they wanted it to, for reasons that were not mine, I had ideas on how to, and I had advice on what not to do. I also At the same time, was very young and didn't know what I was doing myself in certain situations. But when it didn't take off, they sold it to Hollywood.com, who pushed even more for some hope of a viral success. Long story short, that didn't happen. I think it was a combination of them and me. I think that they were trying too hard. I think I was a little naive on certain things and didn't know the things that I know now, and it didn't take off. And one day they just came in and said, we don't want to do it anymore. They dropped the whole thing, and that's Spill. And since we had still had an audience, and that's one of the things I would say that I lucked out with. I should have never done this whole thing of, oh yeah, take my idea. I was just happy to have a job at that time. That's why I say, yeah, take it. It's yours. Just let me develop it and pay me a regular check. That was cool, not wise, but we did cultivate a huge following. And that is that in itself was a very valuable currency. Having an audience, having a community. And I started a Kickstarter asking the community to help us start something new. We raised 130,000 grand and we started Double Toasted with that. And it went through many changes, but I think we're at a good point now. 11 years, going on 12 years, actually 12 years now, very successful. We're having our best year. And I'm not even saying this to brag. I'm not saying this I'm not exaggerating anything. I will say this because it's hard. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've had people come in and tell me I was going to fail. I remember about 3-4 years ago, somebody just told me and just projected everything that was negative, that they saw was negative. It was me. Why did I offend this person? I'm running this business in the ground. Why am I so? Why do I stare at Martin like I want to kill him in the middle of a review? If I don't want to be here, then don't do it. Again, if somebody left, I pissed them off and I need to apologize. They said, you're just doing a terrible job. And I thought, am I? Am I running this into the ground? And also we had some people try to take the channel down. We've had all kind of stuff happen. And that's why I'm happy to report after all the Gigastar thing that happened. By the way, for anybody that remembers Gigastar, that was successful. For all the people, I'll talk about that in a little bit. I don't want to, I'm getting distracted. But yeah, man, this is our best year. James and I sat down and we set a goal for ourselves. And we said, let's get to this point with this number for whatever category, and let's see if we can make it. And we surpassed that so far. And the year's not even over yet. So yeah, we're doing just fine, man. And it always comes back to thanking all of you out there. That comes back to saying we couldn't have done it without you. Thanks for sticking with us. We've definitely gone through some ups and downs, and you were still there. So I appreciate that, man. I really do. And thank y'all so much. I do want to address this because I was thinking about doing it again. The Gigastar thing. So if y'all don't know, Gigastar is this platform that allows people to invest in your channel. If your channel is successful and it's making money, then the people who invest, they earn money too. It's not like they earn millions or something like that, but I don't know, maybe for some people they do, but for us, people, they earn a little money, for investing in our channel. And boy, at the time when we did that, everything was, it was one of the roughest periods in my life, or more like my current, at least at this current time. I hadn't had a rough point like that in years. I was getting divorced. I was having to, it wasn't like an emotional wreck. I just had to deal with a lot of stuff. I was spending a lot of money on divorce. I had to spend a lot of time with lawyers. It was taken away from time that I could be spending here. Somebody was trying to take the channel down, and we couldn't post new stuff for a couple of weeks, which financially you take a hit. And Gigastar, we had just launched Gigastar, and at the time, I even told them, I said, the wording on this is weird, but if y'all think I could do it, I can do it. Then okay, I'll try it. because it was using words like tokens and things like that, and it seemed like it was a lot of people saying, "Man, you're pulling a scam on people. You're doing some sort of crypto pyramid scheme." Or, man, that was an idiotic move. Boy, you're about to lose everything. You're about to be taken advantage of. This channel's about to die. Oh Jesus, it was such a nightmare during that time. And I was mad at the GigaStar people too. I was like, man, I wish I had never done this. I feel like you're learning all the mistakes about this through me. But when it was all done, people did invest. People, they get paid on time. No one's lost anything. And I never came on and said, "I told you so," or I never came on and rubbed it in people's faces. I just left it alone because I just thought, like, I'm just glad that it worked out and I didn't have to go back and live through that again. But yes, it for those who ever wondered what happened with that, it worked fine. And even I was wondering if it was going to work fine. I mean, I'm not saying that like I knew. I thought, oh my God, is this gonna break me? Because this is the last straw. And everything that's going on, this is it. I can't take anymore. And yeah, it worked out, man. Yeah, so everything has gone well at this point. And again, it's all thanks to you, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Because like I said, I can't speak for everybody else, but I have gone through some dark times, and this channel has gone through some dark times, and I'm just happy to be here to see where it is now, and still be here 12 years and be able to say that we've had our best year so far. That is I'm very proud. That's an accomplishment I am very, very proud of. So, all right, let me see here. Let me see what else we got. Oh my God, no. I lost all my, they disappeared. All my questions, they're gone. Don't do this to me. Oh God, please, no. Come on. All right, there we go. Okay, I think I have to refresh the channel, the page. Let me do that. See if we can get the questions back. And all right, there we go. All right, there we are. Oh, this is from Straight Edge Knight. Are you excited for GTA 6? Have you ever played GTA San Andreas? That's my personal favorite GTA. The main character CJ is an absolute legend. San Andreas, okay, this is a stupid question. Is which one is GTA 5? GTA 5 is the one I played the most. Played the story mode, and I went in, explored the city, and I played. And I'm not a huge GTA fan, to be honest with you, but I stuck with GTA 5 longer than I thought, man. And so that's 2013. Oh, you know what? I did not really play. Which one? I played the one that was in the 80s, where it had the voice of the guy from Miami Vice. I played that one. But San Andreas, no, I did not play, man. And maybe I should, but yeah, I am. I'm not. Let me see here. Why is my? All right, hold on. My pages are giving me some problems here. So I am not the biggest GTA fan, to be honest with you all. But GTA 6, let me see here. GTA 6 is something I'm really looking forward to, because technology, man. I mean, everything looks so good now. And that world is going to look incredible. All the detail in that world is going to look amazing. And I can't wait to go through it and explore this world, man. With the recent technology that we have. It's probably gonna be the best looking one and the biggest one that they're pulling off. And I think it's gonna be fun. And it's just so crazy, man. Rockstar has a way of just creating such a huge world that they have all these stories and all these little details that you never expect to run into, and for long periods of time, people don't know, they don't even know those things are there. And so the things you just stumble upon in this open world is amazing, man. Yeah, Vice City. Vice City was the one that I played, and I thought that one was pretty cool. I love the music in Vice City. Yeah, man, but yeah, GTA 6, I think that's gonna be fun. Yeah, that's gonna be great. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna be able to do things. Everybody's still talking about Julian's kooky ass, his predictions for the game where you. I love Julian, but this whole thing about losing your keys in this game, where you don't lose your keys and you gotta find them. Who the fuck wants to lose their keys in a game where the whole thrill of it, or a lot of it, is driving cars, and you gotta spend your time searching the fucking couch to see if your keys are in there? That's crazy. Okay, that's what I was like. All right, you're like a conspiracy dude. I love Julian, but he's crazy. Y'all know that, right? Let's see here. I mean, there's some things you do not want to do in a game that you do in the real world, all right? I mean, taking a shit is awesome in the real world, but you don't want to spend a game where you just go and sit down for like 20 minutes taking a dump, reading a magazine. Who wants to do that? I mean, I'm sure somebody will, but the majority of people, we don't want to spend time doing mundane things that we do in this world that we do in the real world. Nobody wants to do that. Yeah, stealing cars. How the fuck you gonna steal cars and you can't even get to your own car when you lost your keys? That makes no goddamn sense. I swear, I love that dude, man, but sometimes he gets lost in his head and he just says shit that he didn't think through. I love him to death. Don't get me wrong. He's a very creative person. I'll just say that. Let me see here. Let's see, we have more questions. More questions coming up. Coming right up. I think we can get through this. Not too many questions left, so that's good. What do you think of the public backlash? Question mark. He's almost like, what do you think of the backlash? Question mark. Like, what backlash? That Marvel's Wolverine is getting, saying that the gameplay is terrible and the models look abysmal. I didn't hear that backlash. I did not know that was happening, actually. I saw it, and what little I saw, I thought it looked cool, man. Have people played the game yet, though? That's the thing. Because, listen, I can get past some graphics or visuals that I disagree with if the gameplay is amazing. So, I don't know, man. It looks fine to me. It's not even out yet. So, I don't know what people are talking about when they say that there's a backlash. You know what, man? First of all, there's going to always be a backlash. Because there's always going to be that person talking shit. There's always going to be one person who's going to be negative just to be fucking negative. And we know this. Whenever something comes out, it's either going to be, I don't like how it looks, that's not my thing, it's not like the book, or it ain't like the original, it's woke, which people still use that word wrong. It's always going to be somebody with a complaint. I've been one of those people, all right? Because I know this because I'm speaking from being a personal contributor to that assholishness. But if this game ain't even out yet. This game ain't even out yet, and it looks, I mean, from what I've seen so far, I don't know, man. It's looking all right to me. Unless I'm missing something that people were specifically looking for. And like, this doesn't look any better or worse than the Spider-Man games that are out there. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I really have no idea what people are nitpicking about before the game is even out, but whatever. Somebody said Woken X. Yeah, okay. Somebody better not use that word with Wolverine. Woke. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I don't know. They even got Patch in there. Come on, man. What y'all? I mean, I don't know. It looks good to me. Of course, maybe I'm not the right Wolverine fan to be commenting on that, but it looks fine to me. So I don't know. I don't know what people are talking about. People just want to talk shit to talk shit. Y'all know this. As somebody who professionally talks shit for a living, I know this. I know when I see it. Let's see. This is $5 from Davi himself. Have you seen Swim Fan, and do you think it's roastable? It's my favorite terrible movie of all time. I did not see Swim Fan, but I think Martin, he saw it. You know what? I'm going to type in and see what the rating is on that. Swim Fan. I know that movie. What did it come out, like 2 years ago? Swim Fan. Let me see here. Ooh, 15% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yes. I would love to go in and roast that. I mean, but you know what? The only thing about Swim Fan is that you say it's your favorite terrible movie, but it seems like it's a movie that not a lot of people talk about. Oh, damn, I said 2 years ago. That movie came out 15 years ago. What am I talking about? You know what? Yeah, why not, man? I don't know. What the hell am I talking about? I guess I have it mixed up with something else. Wasn't there another movie that came out not too long ago that dealt with swimming and a killer or something? I don't know. I got it mixed up with that. But Swim Fan. Yeah, man, we should. You know what? I think I have seen this. I saw this and you know what? Maybe we didn't review it because it was during the transition from Spilled to Double Toasted. There was about a good 6 months where we weren't doing anything. Martin and I were doing a podcast called The Corey and Martin Show. It was, very simple. It was just to keep people. It was like filler to keep people interested in us, to stay relevant while we were waiting to get the next thing started. But yeah, I saw this, man, and I don't think we did a review on it. Or maybe we did. But yeah, this thing is terrible. How did I forget this? Yeah, man, I would love to have some reason to roast this, even though I remember nothing about it except that it was terrible. But yeah, I remember this movie, man. I remember seeing it. I don't remember anything about it except that it was bad. But yeah. Yeah, 2003. Hell yeah. Oh. Yeah, it's funny. I got, man, the things you forget. And the funny thing is, Swim Fan is a title that everybody remembers, but movies is never on my radar, on my mind. Oh, wait a minute. It was 2003. So no, that's right. I'm so sorry. We did this on The Real Deal. I think we reviewed this when we were doing public access. Oh, wow. So this movie is not, I thought it was 15 years ago. So this movie was 23 years ago? Holy shit. Okay. And somebody said it looks dated as hell. Well, it was 23 years ago. Yeah, no wonder I don't remember anything about this, man. I only saw this movie once, over 20 years ago. So, yeah, I would love to have a reason to refresh myself on some shittiness. Why not? All right. Okay, we're beginning to wrap things up here, I think. Oh, let me see here. $10 from Jake Dyer. Jake Dyer? Hey, Corey, what are your thoughts on the San Antonio Spurs with that terrible buggy-eyed coyote mascot? that mascot, is that what it is? I thought it was a kangaroo or something. Since you're an animator, illustrator, can you go to San Antonio and give him a new look? What the fuck is going on with San Antonio in this mascot, man? Let me see here. San Antonio Spurs mascot. Let me see here. Yeah, I've always wondered what the fuck is this, man? This old tweaking ass coyote. This looks like like Wile E. Coyote on meth or speed. This looks like the Coyote on PCP. What the fuck? All that money, and y'all can't. You could not get a better costume than that. That's the worst ventriloquist dummy ass looking mascot I've ever seen. Don't mean to. I mean, I guess it's a thing now. But they're the Spurs, man. San Antonio Spurs. Y'all couldn't get like a Yosemite Sam looking type mascot. What the fuck does a coyote have to do with Spurs? This animal looks like this looks like a fucking animal with rabies. Look at this. Who looked at this and said yes? The fuck? This looks like a damn animal you have to put down. The fuck is this? This looks like Pixie if I gave her meth and her eyes got bigger. Does anybody know the history of this thing? Why? What? Yeah, this is the coyote on some shit. Who said that? Because they're right. Somebody in the chat said that. This looks like Pixie's drug addict cousin who came to our house to ask us for money to buy more drugs. Look at this kid. This kid says, "Please get this away from me." This poor child right here. This child is sick, and this child is saying, "Y'all thought that this would make me feel better? Get this thing out my room." Who the hell? What is the story behind this? I gotta look this up. I know we probably don't have time. Yeah, Cool Cat. That damn Cool Cat. Let me see here. Cool Cat saves the day. So Cool Cat saves the kids. Look at this shit. That's a better mascot than this crazy shit right here. What? Who thought a cracked out kangaroo looking ass mascot would be a good idea for a team called the San Antonio Spurs? It's the worst decision I've ever seen of anything. All right. Let's see here. See what else we got. Crazy. I'm getting away from that. That's making me mad for some reason. I don't know why. Yes, I should go down to San Antonio and draw something else for them. I could do a much better job. Yeah, put me in that bitch. I'll dance around. How do you feel about Hayden Panettiere's death? I've already answered that, and of course, man. I mean, that's a pretty straightforward answer. I feel like this. No, I feel like, let me see here. Yeah, man. Let me find a picture of her. 36 years old. What was the cause of death? I've been busy and haven't had, because it just happened. I didn't read into it yet or read about it. But 36 years old, I believe didn't she have children? And I mean, at 36, man, and that's awful. That is way too young. That is terrible. I feel sad for anyone. As I say, just out of human compassion, anyone. Because she's a celebrity, so we're all hearing about that. But anyone who dies at such an early age is a sad thing. Unless you're an asshole and you have it coming. But other than that, it's terrible. So, I mean, do you realize we're now at a point where people are taking care of themselves so much better and people living longer that now when you die at 70, people are like, oh my God, that was too young. So just think about that and then think about somebody dying at 36. That's awful, man. And I wish her family and everyone around her the best. And that goes for anybody, celebrities or not, who have to go through such a horrible thing. Sad, very sad. Let's see here. Let's get to some more questions here. Oh, let me see. If you were a director, what's your passion project? I don't know about a project that I can name in particular. I can tell you the nature of what I would like to do. So I'm looking at all the fantasy and sci-fi stories that take off and become famous and become popular, become just a huge part of popular culture and get so ingrained in our society. Harry Potter immediately comes to mind. I'm reading something now and it's becoming probably something that is going to be somewhere along the Harry Potter level. I don't know if it's going to be that big because Harry Potter was embraced by kids, and therefore that's going to be a much bigger phenomenon. But there's this book called Dungeon Crawler Carl that I'm reading right now, and you know, and name anything else, man. That's just become a big sci-fi phenomena or fantasy phenomena. And I would like to see my goal, if I had my dream, would be to make something where it would be a person of color, probably a black lead, in a sci-fi story or a fantasy story, where that character and other people don't have to play the background. Call it woke all you want to. You're a fucking racist if you say, because somebody did this to me once, and now I'm not getting mad at anything. And y'all like, damn, we didn't do nothing. Why you getting mad? No, I remember one time I said I would love to see. This is years ago, before diversity was even mentioned the way it is now. Years ago, I remember saying I would love to see everybody have a chance to see themselves be the lead in something instead of always playing the background and always being the sidekick of a white character or helping the white character achieve their goal or whatever. And then somebody got mad. This is back when we were doing Spill, and somebody said, "Why would you want to do that? Wow, why do you?" I hate seeing, and this didn't make any sense. I hate seeing one-sided black pride because I want to see everybody represented that's one-sided. Why do you? And then he followed up with, "Why do you want to see yourself in something anyway?" This is a person who is so blinded by the default being white that anytime somebody said they would like to step up, they didn't even know how they were feeling threatened about it. They didn't even, you just challenged with the way they were used to seeing the world. And so, so I'm just saying, if you're that person, hearing me say this now, you want to cry out woke or you're just being racist yourself because you want to put yourself in the lead. I mean, listen, I see so many things to this day, right now, where I see black characters as, and I'm speaking for myself. Other people, I would love for other people to see themselves represented too. Anywhere from women to gays, trans, anyway. None of that. Groups don't bother me. I'm not threatened by other people or groups, and I would love for everybody to see themselves represented. I'm speaking for myself, though. If I was to write something, I see so many things where black people are in the background. I see so many things where other people are just invisible. But a lot of times you see a black sidekick. They're there to help the white character achieve whatever it is that they're going to be in the movie. They're not the main character. And if they are the main character, all of a sudden it's seen as a black film. I would love to make something where it's a property that is, again, something along the lines of a Harry Potter or a Dungeon Crawler Crawl or some sci-fi fantasy thing where it's not seen as a black thing, but it has a lead black character, our characters, and also just a diversity of other characters in there. Call it fucking woke all you like. I don't give a shit. But that's what I would like to see. I don't say anything because, if I did, I'd be complaining about it every day. But I get tired of seeing people that look like me, just kind of background, chilling out, just filling space. And I know things have gotten better, but it still happens today. And I would like to see myself represented in the mainstream in a lead, in some lead character position too. So, yeah, Yeah, Star Wars. They said Star Wars had my man Lando Calrissian, but Lando was not the lead character. Lando was still a side character. Lando was still to help out the Han Solo and Luke and everybody. And like I said, it's getting better, man. I mean, you know, that I'm not oblivious to that. It's gotten a whole lot better. But yeah, man. I don't know. That would be my goal if I had my dream project to make something like that. I hate when something you put too many black people in the lead, all of a sudden it is a black film. And you know, we had that mainstream with Black Panther. So I would love to do something like that. I would love to do Blade, you know? Let's see here. This is and that was Jonathan Hernandez, $2. $20 from Dan Evil Robot. Apologize. That comment, I meant my dad's side. I know. I was messing with you. This comes from a comment he made earlier, and he got to put in a couple of words. But in his comment, he mentioned that his grandfather was an English major, so you couldn't pass it up to say something. But he says, anyway, the question is, do you have a personal favorite horror film that stays with you? How good is it that nobody can recreate it again, like John Carpenter's The Thing? I think you probably could recreate John Carpenter's The Thing. I think the problem is that a lot of people have tried to stay too close to his original instead of going out and doing something really different. So I think you can do that. But, oh man, you know, some things in the 70s, they were hard to do. And I remember you talking about a film that stuck with me when I saw it as a kid. And could we actually recreate that today? We could, but I don't know if it would be with the same impact, because back then it was just something, at least maybe it was the impact it had on me when I was a child, a little boy. But I just think the effects were so crazy for that time in the 70s that the impact would be hard to recreate. Let me see here. It was a movie called, a lot of people don't hear about this. Let me see here. Oh, man. There was this movie called The Devil's Reign. And in the movie, at the end of the film, the rain came down and all these people started melting. I think these cult members started melting. And let me see if I can find, I can't play the sound, but I can show you somewhat of a visual when the rain came down. And all these people, I think William Shatner was in the movie. Yeah, there he is. He looks like Michael Myers, man. That's the Michael Myers mask, right? But yeah, I don't know if the rain came down, all these people just started melting. And that alone right there is terrifying, man. This movie left all kind of weird, let me see here. It left all kind of weird images in my head that haunt me to this day. Oh, man. I can't find it. But all these people start melting at the end. And they were on the ground and they were still moving and writhing. And oh, maybe this is it. And it just freaked me the fuck out. And I don't know if you could do the same thing today. Yeah, I can't. Oh, yeah, I can't find it, man. Maybe somebody can find it later. But yeah, at the end, all these cult members, I guess the actual Devil's Reign came in and started melting all these people. And as I said, you could still see hands moving with all this flesh that was just being washed away into the ground. Oh, here it is. Oh, that's the Devil's Reign trailer. Oh. Maybe they show a little bit here. Let me see. Yeah, there's a lot of old 70s people in this. Oh, man, let me see. Oh, here it is. Here's some of it. Imagine looking at this as a kid. Look at this, man. All these people are just melting into each other. Look at this. And yeah, I remember turning on the TV because I caught it near the end during that time when all these people melting. I was like, fuck this. And And I just don't know. The 70s had a way of making things more horrifying because they didn't show you gore all the time. They didn't show you a whole lot of blood, and they weren't, the effects were cool, unless it was like an exploitation film or something else, that was meant to do all that. But even then, a lot of like true 70s horror, it took its time. And then when the horror finally really hit, it had an impact. So I don't know, that movie right there, I don't know if we could remake that the same way we could right now. The Blair Witch. You asked me about a horror movie that I love. I don't know if I love the Blair Witch, but the Blair Witch is something that you could not recreate again. You can make as many sequels to the Blair Witch as you want to. You are not going to recreate that movie, all right? Because that movie relied on things that were very specific at that time for its marketing. The whole viral thing, VHS tapes, the internet wasn't. We had the internet. The internet wasn't what it is right now. Of course it was the internet at the time. Yeah, it had a very unique viral marketing going on with it. The lead up to it was frightening itself because you didn't know what to think about it. You will not recreate that movie, even if you create another successful Blair Witch. You are not going. You just created something that was an offshoot of that. You are not going to recreate that film. That's just how it is. Yeah, it's not possible. And I do admire the film a lot. I understand people who do not like the Blair Witch Project because watching it now, it can seem very dull. You don't know the impact that it had at the time. So 100% get it if you don't like it. I'm not mad at people who don't. But you're not going to recreate that film. And you had to be around for it to really have the effective marketing and the fear that it instilled in you before even going into the film, the mystery behind it. All right, let's see here. Oh, Netflix bought the rights to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and they're making a stupid game show. The good thing out of this is that they're bringing back the Wonka bar from 2005. I heard that Netflix is making another, like a Willy Wonka sequel. I know they're making, oh yeah, I did hear that they were making a game. Man, if it works for them, if this formula or this format works for them of making games, that's cool. Good. What am I going to do about it? Let me see here. I'm looking up one specific thing. But I saw that Squid Game, the Squid Game Challenge. I saw, which was the reality TV show version of Squid Games, and come on, man. It was just corny. The whole reason you watch Squid Game is because people actually died, or at least the characters died. No one actually died, but the characters died, and it was so much more intense. This was just goofy watching them. They played Battleship. All right? When they went in there and started playing Battleship, I was like, come on, man. The end of the game, they played paper, rock, scissors. I like this. This just doesn't. It's not even on the same level as what they did with Squid. This is a blatant, obvious attempt to just cash in on the franchise and somehow keep it going because the show is limited. So this whole thing of doing Willy Wonka, I don't know, man. It just seems it's corny. Okay, these things, the way they do it is just corny. They even tried to do things to show people, like in Squid Games, like on the bridge. If you saw Squid Games, they had a bridge made out of glass, and if you landed on a certain panel, it was weak and you fell through. They had to show people falling through the glass. They had to edit it because they didn't want to hurt anybody for real. They had one guy showed him jumping and about to land, and they did a cut to a stunt person going through the glass, and I was like, all right, this is corny as hell. Kiss my ass. What else we got? That was Furious, $10. Thank you. No question. Hope one day you feel a shred of the joy you gave me. Well, that just gave me a lot of joy right there. And that is from Scar DDT. That, my friend, gives me so much joy reading that. So I would say I do feel that. Thank you so much. And it just makes me feel happy knowing that I make you feel happy. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me see here. Alex Mercer, The Prototype, $2. Antoine Chigurh or Heath Ledger's Joker? Which one? Hey, man, they're both great performances. They're both excellent performances. So I don't think we need to choose between one. They're both doing different things in different types of movies. One is a comic book movie, granted with a realistic slant to it, but it's very much a comic book fantasy film. The other is a modern day Western thriller. And I wouldn't dare pick one over the other. If you don't know Antoine Chigurh, that's the villain from No Country for Old Men. And that, let me see here. That scene, and Javier Bardem is the actor that plays him. Let me see here. Let me see, the gas station scene from No Country. Yeah, here it is. That gas station scene from No Country for Old Men. Oh my God, that is one of the most intense scenes I had seen in a long time. So if you haven't seen the movie, Antoine Chigurh is a character that he's almost like Two-Face. Your fate is dependent on a coin toss. Jesus, he killed me in a second. A coin toss. Your fate is decided by a coin toss, and you could say just the smallest thing to this guy to set him off. This guy asked him how his day was, and he took that as an offense and decided to either kill this man or spare him based on a coin toss. And the thing that is so intense about this is that the attendant doesn't realize what danger he's in. He just thinks the guy's crazy. He thinks he's just playing some weird game with him. He doesn't realize that if he doesn't call heads or tails correctly, he's going to be murdered on the spot. How that works out, if you haven't seen the movie, I won't tell you, but it is so intense. And a lot of it is because of the way Antoine Chigurh is because of the way Javier Bardem portrays the character. I mean, just the look of the character, that crazy haircut, his cold demeanor. Yeah, I don't think you have to pick between either one of those, man. They're both amazing performances. Heath Ledger, I could watch him do that over and over again in certain scenes, and I can definitely watch Javier Bardem do this over and over again. In fact, I have been watching this scene recently a lot. It's funny you should ask that question. I love this scene. Yeah, a lot of people know the dialogue from this. The dialogue is great. It's just so. If you've had somebody that has acted weird like this before, I have relatives who act like this guy. They don't kill people, but like my cousin would mess with somebody like this. He wouldn't kill him, but he just messed with somebody like that. And so I just kind of related to it too. But it's an amazing performance. All right, let's see what else we got here. We are about to. Oh my God, my screen just went blank. Why did it do that? Every now and then the stream, or at least the page for the stream, just decides to just leave, crash out, as we say. Oh, let's see, we are. As someone who has a lot of tattoos and as someone who's getting into them, is there any advice you give to someone who's getting into tattoos? Yes. Know the design that you're getting. Don't get something, because I've even been guilty of this. Don't get something that, be careful, man. Really think about a tattoo that is beautiful and will stand the test of time, or is interesting, or if it really means something to you. Don't get something because it's trendy. Don't get something that's really. I can't tell anybody what to do. Some people want this, but I wouldn't get something just as a joke and think it's funny. That's gonna be in your body forever. And when and not everybody's gonna be laughing all the time at that. I think the best tattoos are the ones that actually look like some art, man. And I would even change my mind about some tattoos now. But ones that are impressive, you know, they got shading and there's some artistry to them. You know, they're a nice illustration. That's just be careful and like I said, don't jump into something that's trendy right now. You know, we've all seen the tribal stuff that happened, and if that's you, man. That might work out, but I would say, man, really get something that people will look at and say, oh man, that is gorgeous. They don't even ask you what it means. They just look at it and say, that looks beautiful. Where'd you get that? Who did that? You know, if don't get something just because you want to look tough or, you know, I don't know. So I just think a mark on your body means nothing. There's some people who get bands that are they're just black bands. And it's meant to represent somebody who passed away, I think, or something like that. But a lot of times it ends up just being a mark on your body. You know, I think if you're going to get something that's going to be in your body forever, get something that really is gorgeous. And not only you, I know you're getting it for yourself, but man, if other people are going to see it too, it feels good just to have people come up and say, man, that's beautiful. So, yeah, that's what I would do, man. All right. Let's see here. That was $2. I'm sorry, $5 from Colonel Useless. Philip Workman, $5. Have you seen Don't Go in the Woods, 1981, also known as Don't Go in the Woods Alone? So cringy. Think it would make a great bad movie roast. Let me look that up. Don't Go in the Woods Alone. Go in I have house, forest, basement. We're gonna choose woods. Alone. There it is. Oh, this looks like garbage right here. I can already tell by those titles. Oh, hell. Oh, yeah. Man, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think that this looks so cheap. I'm not sure that this would make a good roast. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'd have to listen to the sound, which we can't play right now. Ooh, these effects look bad. Look at somebody. It's so cheap. Somebody wrote the title on a piece of cloth. Yeah, I'll have to look at it, man, to really say. But again, it's so old and so cheap, it probably won't be chosen because it's just our audience just doesn't go for that. But you never know. They've gotten me on some before. Prove me wrong. Here's our last one. Do not send any more. Any comedic actors you'd like to see try horror? Huh. I haven't thought about that. And if you talk about comedic actors, man, Freddy Krueger tells jokes. Freddy Krueger became a comedian at one point. Freddy Krueger rapped at one point. He had a very short-lived rap career. He hosted a show where he was pretty much doing open mic before he introduced the segment or the story. So I guess Freddy Krueger could be something that could easily be adapted by a comedic actor. But who would play him? I don't know. Oh man. So would Nicolas Cage be? I know that wouldn't work. I know nobody would do that. I'm just thinking. And plus, that's the thing about trying to bring Freddy Krueger back. Freddy Krueger was just something that became his own thing. They tried to bring Freddy Krueger back, and they had the guy that played, oh man, who was it that played Freddy Krueger in that reboot? Let me see here. But Freddy became his own thing, that Freddy could get away with telling jokes, and Freddy became, that guy that could rap if he wanted to. Oh, let me see. Jackie Earl Haley. They tried to make him serious, and it didn't take. There's just something. And here's the other thing about Freddy Krueger. I was thinking maybe some comedic guy could do Freddy Krueger. But man, Freddy. But the thing is, Robert Englund was Freddy Krueger, and it's hard to get anybody else besides Robert Englund to do Freddy Krueger, unless they could really capture the spirit of what he was doing with it. But he made it his own thing, and it's hard to do. So I don't know. I was going to say Nicolas Cage is Freddy Krueger, but because he's so crazy. What would you think about that? Nicolas Cage is Freddy Krueger. I know a lot of people going to say no. What do you think? If we were to say something. Yeah, Jackie Earle Haley was Rorschach. Let me see here. I think, man, listen, I'm going to stick with that. But he's not a comedic actor. He's just an actor. You said somebody comedy. Somebody comedic actor. Jesus. You know what? This is going to be crazy. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Let me see. Here. So let me just look and see some names here. Because I'm looking at some actors that I think can actually pull off some dramatic chops. Or when I say dramatic chops, let me say not dramatic chops. Let me say some range, who have range. Because it doesn't require for this person to be funny, right? So let me see here. Okay. Y'all gonna laugh at me. And that's fine. But I'm gonna go out on a limb here. And I'm gonna say, are y'all ready? And this is somebody who's a comedic actor that I think has range to extend beyond comedy and probably play a horror character. Now, I would say it'd be better for them to create a horror character on their own. But if I was to go out on a limb and say I was to push them into playing another character, here we go. Deon Cole as Candyman. Oh, stop. Y'all throwing tomatoes at me. Oh, stop. I'm sorry. Oh, God. Oh, no. Yeah. I think Deon Cole is a talented guy, and if you had to do some sort of reboot of Candyman, which I know we already had one, but we to reboot the reboot again, I think Deon Cole could do. I think he could do Candyman. That's me. Somebody say, okay, why? I just told you why. I think that he has range outside of comedy. I don't know why. I think maybe I've seen him do something. I know he just did Michael as Don King. So I think, he can expand that. That's just me. And then if he can't do it, Kevin Hart. Nah. Oh, let's see here. So yeah, there we go. That's our last question. We got through all of them. That was impressive. We got through the old ones, got through the new ones. We did well today. Did very well today. So I'm gonna just take a minute and do a little segment based on two things that were sent to me. And I'm gonna cut off the YouTube, and I'm going to. You're too late, Cinemac. All right, $5. Cinemac. Cinemac came in with $5. Just paying my respects for all the years you've entertained me since the Spill days. Thanks for all the laughs. That's Cinemac. Oh, that was sweet. That is a good way to end this portion of this segment here. Thank you so much, man. Somebody said Kevin Hart is Leprechaun. I was going to avoid that. I'm gonna tell you something. That actually that crossed my mind as a joke, and I just left it alone because it seemed obvious. But that is funny when you say it out loud. But yeah. All right, everybody, that is it. I'm not leaving, but I am going to cut off YouTube. I am going to cut off TikTok because for what I'm about to do next, I have to play some clips, and that won't fly on those platforms. So stick around if you want to continue to watch. Going to be over on Twitch. Going to be over on Kick. You can watch over there. So this is not really goodbye yet, but if you're not coming back, then I guess it is. So if you're not coming back, thanks for watching. Appreciate all the questions, and I'll catch you later. If you're sticking around, then I'll see you on Twitch. Kick.